Hello, everyone. I wanted to share with you my final conclusion on which way I've decided to vote and why, and some of the things that I've learned over the last few days, some personal lessons that I hope maybe can help some other people think about things in a new way, perhaps. There's been a huge amount of information on both sides of the campaign that have contradicted each other, and it has been very, very confusing. And some of the things that I found upsetting over the last few days is the fear of expressing any confusion about what's going on. Some of the comments that I've seen on Facebook, particularly, have been very aggressive towards the opposite side, and I think it's only honest that we all admit that none of us have all the answers. And we should really be providing a safe space where people can discuss ideas that they have, worries that they have, fears that they have, and positive thoughts that they have. So that actually we can really have a good discussion and perhaps, some truths can come out of it. The problem is as soon as you're aggressive towards another side, they're going to shut down to your ideas, and even more so, not want to go that way just to spite you. So I would ask you, not just for this, but in the future, to be careful and kind with your language and open and compassionate to hearing the opposite views, because, that's the most healthy way we're going to learn something positive from it. So I expressed the view that was from a fear on Facebook. I was very reluctant to do so because I don't like posting anything from that kind of perspective. But it was a genuine fear, and it might be true. I still don't know the answer to that. In the end, a lot of people told me to listen to my gut. Unfortunately, my gut was giving me this kind of conspiracy that, the EU, there are people behind it that are not to be trusted. I definitely believe this is the case, both of our government, but of course things aren't that clear cut. A lot of people told me to listen to my heart, but my heart just didn't seem to be really saying anything. My heart was telling me that I wanted to live in a united world, one where we all work together, but this option is not particularly on the cards at the moment. So I felt very confused about that. In the end, what I've decided to go with is my feeling, and it's funny how just a word can shift your perspective on what you're looking for. My feeling is that when I hold the ideas of leaving the EU in my body, it does feel like a very negative thing. It feels like negative, simple way of saying it. When I think about staying in the EU, it feels positive. And in line of all the discussions that my head was trying to work out, it really was in quite a 50-50 place. It was very upsetting that people were sort of accusing people who wanted to leave of being in any way, racist or, I don't know, xenophobic, because although that might be the case of some people, it certainly wasn't the case of a lot. A lot of people had other reasons that were quite the opposite, in fact. But also it got me to thinking about people who are racist and people who are xenophobic. And in my own experience, people who are homophobic. I always do my best to really entertain people that are homophobic and listen to them with an open heart, listen to their arguments, and be able to be open to engage in a discussion. Because if I get angry and I shut down to them, all it's going to do is fuel their beliefs. And, how can they see that I'm a good person, that I'm, not bad for being this way? And, I think the same of like racists and xenophobic people, they do have their reasons. Their reasons might be completely misguided. They may be, totally deluded about why they have problems in their life. But rather than to ostracize them as a as bad people and make them a group that you don't want anything to do with and push them away. I think actually, in fact, we should be much more open to what they have to say so that we can engage in conversations with them and keep the discussions open and coming from from love in our conversations. So that's it. I really can't tell you which way to vote. If you're stuck, perhaps go with the feeling idea, because that helped me at the end of the day. I love the idea of us all working together. I hope that this is the right decision, and best of luck to everyone. Lots of love.